Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. A good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in and happy Super Bowl Sunday to those who actually watch the Super Bowl. I don't care to watch the Super Bowl. So, hey, we are here pre Super Bowl. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Brenda B. Hey, Miss T. Hey, hey from Sweden. Hello. Is it Koshbar? Am I saying that correctly? I'm sorry if I said it incorrectly, but hello, welcome, welcome. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. If I could be honest with you guys, yeah, child, you better say that. Happy Kendrick Day. V, baby, you changed your picture. Beautiful as usual. Hello. Yes, happy Kendrick Day. That's exactly. I'm sure a lot of people are just not going to watch the game and watch the halftime performance just to see if he's going to perform They Not Like Us. Everybody's anticipating it if he's going to do it or not. But yeah, I spoke about this yesterday. I didn't know if I was going to review this. I didn't even know if you guys wanted me to review this because I'm just like, all they're talking about is how they got to prison in the first place. And I was like, do y'all really want to see this? Because I thought it was kind of boring. But I said, you know what? I'm going to let the crew decide on if they want me to or not. And it looks like the majority of you guys want me to review it. So I said, okay, let me shut my mouth, watch it, and make sure I review it. So here we are. Here we are. And I am about to review Love After Lockup Crime Story. And this is Lindsay and Garrett. Okay. Um, with that being said, do I even need to rate these episodes? I don't even know if these are episodes worth rating, considering the fact that it's just telling their background story. But yeah, so pretty interesting though, especially if I didn't really know the background. I don't even think I watched the season. I definitely didn't watch the season with Garrett because I don't remember him at all. But I'll tell you this much. We're going to start off with Garrett. And all I could see in this situation, or I can hear in this situation, was today I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. He was just giving me today I got time, cuz mixed with Eminem. He was doing a lot. And I was just like, baby, like, where did you grow up? Like, you had to grow up in the hood of Tampa, Florida, because he's from Tampa, Florida. And then I saw the house he grew up in the background. And I said, there ain't no damn hood. That's no hood, sir. That is actually a very, very nice house. Looks like a 3-car garage, maybe a 4-car garage. He was living it up. Okay. But this is just a good example that money and, having a stable financial household does not mean everything. And that is clearly the case with good old Garrett. Okay. He grew up in the suburbs. And he said what really started triggering is that his mother's man, he said his mother and father actually divorced, separated when he was an infant, but his mother's man, boyfriend, started kind of his life a crime. That's what he says. And so he claims that he saw, the stepdad or the boyfriend take stuff out of the store. He also saw him with a big bag of herbs as a child, and that's where he got his desire, I suppose, to start a life of crime. Now, as y'all know, I'm from California, and trust and believe, I, as a young child, have seen bags of herbs because that was like the thing out here. Okay, you could literally see bags of herb going down the street. Okay, to see bags of herbs or to see someone actually take something out of the store, I don't necessarily know if that triggered you. I think other things triggered him, and we find out later. But I feel like because he saw his mother giving attention to this man, and this man was living a life of crime, I think low key, he felt like living a life of crime was going to get him the attention that he never had. But that is my opinion on the situation. But um at that point, his father did provide a nice life for him, and he just wanted to be thug life. And so he went from stealing to smoking herb and then going downhill from there to doing a little bit of everything else. He was like a true junkie, taking everything. And it is very clear that I think his father either was just ignoring it, didn't want to see it, or was just working so much that he didn't even realize what was going on until it was too late. So, um, he definitely, because he didn't have the money or means to take care of his habit, he started taking and living a life of crime. Okay. But my issue with him was, I don't know about y'all, but I felt like he was kind of reliving the moment a little too much for me, a little too much. Like, he was having moments where he was smiling. He was having flashbacks. Like, he was just remembering that time when he was in that moment, like he was truly enjoying himself. Enjoying himself. And he said at first he was just taken from, other places, because he, of course, lived in a good neighborhood, and he would go to even better neighborhoods, or even hell in his neighborhood, and just come home, going to his brother's, through his brother's window. But he said one time he needed his substances really bad, and he stole from his father. Okay. His father had 2 laptops, and he figured, hey, what's me taking 1 laptop? You got 2. I'll just take 1. Hey, Joseph. And he decided to take the laptop and pawn it or do whatever he needed to do to get what he needed to get. And he knew he had effed up, because he was even too afraid to come home. So much so, he used to go through his brother's window, because he said even at one point his father locked some kind of way his own window of his room, which tells me the father knew what was going on, but he thought these little things like locking the doors or whatever the case may be, or locking the windows to his room, was going to stop him. I really think he really wanted attention from both parents. I do. I also think, like, was military school not an option? I don't necessarily know if it would have helped him, but honestly, he said when he stole that laptop, and when he finally went home and he saw how heartbroken his father was, he had tears in his eyes. His father was disgusted. Like, you take from me. I've been taking care of you your whole life or whatever. And he said, while his father was disappointed, his father did not turn him in. And I really wonder, if his father had turned him in at that moment, would he have possibly saved him? I think his father not turning him in and trying to stop him at that moment, he in some kind of way maybe felt like his father still didn't care, which is why he said even more, he went completely crazy in a life of crime. Um, Military, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say military school works, but I guess at the same time, if you want to be bad, you want to be bad. But he said, as things got worse, he started taking cars, and he was 15 years old at the time, and he ended up getting into a high speed chase, and they ended up having to they ended up crashing the car, and he ran in the woods. A K9 dog got to him, and when I mean got to him, I mean gnawing him got to him. And he said he only pretty much stayed in jail, in the holding cell, until the next morning, until his father got him, and he was out. And he said that's when he realized the big homies was telling him that he can get away with anything, or whatever the case may be, because he was a minor. Now, I got a question. In my opinion, I think he smiled because the hustle is still in him. He's like Mitch from Paid in Full. He knows he shouldn't be doing these illegal activities, but he loves the hustle, period. It seemed like it. It seemed like he was enjoying that moment for real, for real. Hey, Liz. Now, let me ask y'all this. I don't know if it's a state thing. I don't know Florida laws. For those who are from Florida, please let me know in the comment section. Him doing what he did, high speed, all of that stuff, major felony, and then he gets out the next morning like nothing happened. I don't know if that's the case in every state. And I'm like, is it a state thing, or is it a privilege thing? Is it where he comes from thing? Because I feel like out here, certain people wouldn't get away with that. So I don't know if it's a state law, but I just feel like at that point, yeah, that probably would have been you're gonna be held, or whatever the case may be, and then maybe they'll let you out with your parents, but you about to be in court and you about to do some time. But that didn't clearly happen for him. So he ended up going even deeper. Okay. He just had it in him to just be reckless. So at that point, he said after the high speed chase, he said that he felt like that gave him street cred. And he kept going and going. All right. And he was literally living it up. He was up there like, yeah, I had, what I'm saying, violation after violation after violation. And, I was roaming these cars and, 15 years old with a pocket full of money. And I was just like, okay, like you honestly, he gives me the vibes that if he could get away with it, he would still do it still to this day. He was in a zone talking about these moments like he had no remorse in the time. Okay. So I was just like, okay, this is quite interesting. So he said he kept going, violation after violation. They showed practically all of his mugshot pictures. I said, damn. And so at one point, the police came to his father's house in that nice big old house. And interesting enough, he said that his father was like, oh, you want to know where the stuff is that he took? Yeah, it's in the garage and it's outside of the garage. And my thing is, am I missing something? But I thought if there is that type of illegal merchandise in your house and your child is a minor, you are also held liable for it. Am I tripping? But the fact that he was like, oh, this is where it is. It's like, well, sir, how did you know all this time you knew where it was and you never called us? Am I the only one who's thinking that way? But apparently the father pointed them to the direction of everything. And then this fool says, I was just so happy they didn't come to my room because I had a couple of pieces of steel in my room. And y'all know what steel is. And I said, absolutely not. See, the moment he stole your laptop, the moment he took that, okay, and you clearly saw that he was living the life he was living, he has no more privacy. If he gonna be in your house, which at that point, I don't even know, some parents would have said, you gotta go. You either going to military school, you doing something. But literally at that point, he has no privacy. He shouldn't even been able to bring that type of stuff in your house on all levels, the merchandise or the steel. So that's why I was like, the father seemed to have not been there. He really didn't seem to be there. Because I'm like, let me tell y'all something. I ain't close to what this guy did when he was a child. You know what I'm saying? You getting your typical, I was a typical teenager, most of the time, if I got in trouble, I got in trouble for my smart mouth. I didn't feel even compelled to just do anything that he was doing. But I didn't even really have privacy in the dang on house because it ain't my house. How many times did we hear as a child or a teenager, this ain't your house? So if I need to come into your room, I'm going to come into your room. Point blank, period. Like I remember growing up, I had people that I knew in high school and stuff, their parents would allow them to lock their rooms. And I was like, excuse, lock room? Okay, not in my household, because at the end of the day, it ain't your house. You don't pay the mortgage, you don't pay the bills. So to me, the fact that he was able to have that in his room shows me the father just didn't want to admit to it. I don't know what was going on, but he definitely should have been always, when he came into the house or when he was at school or doing whatever, he should have been all up in that room to see what was going on, what was in the garage. And the fact that he knew that stuff was in the garage and outside of the garage, I think most of the time the police will also look at him and be like, well, if you knew it was here, why didn't you report it? Now I got to look at you crazy. You know what I mean? Am I the only one who feels that way? His parents were enabling him. It seems like it. Raising two sons in Florida, I can see why he got away with so much. You're raising sons in Florida, V baby? So let me ask you this. If you're telling me you're raising two sons in Florida, is that normal that even a child who commits that big of a crime can get out the next day no matter background as far as class is concerned, race is concerned? Is that something that's normal? Because I'll tell you right here in Cali, I don't think that would be normal. I think they would be sitting there. Why he looking like he hit? Thank you, because he was literally reliving the moment. That's why I said, "Oh, this is Mr. Thug Life." He was trying to relive the moment, honey, about what he. Hey, Miss, what's up? This story is all over the place. It to me, there's holes because I don't think he really wants to say out loud that his parents were not attentive parents. I think that's what it is. He doesn't really want to say that they were bad parents. I think that's why. But definitely is one of those things where it's just like, I just don't understand how you can keep doing this over and over again. And your father, who is raising you, don't put the smack down in some kind of way. Because whether that is you're going to have to officially do time, you know what I'm saying? Or you going to military school, something. But the fact that he just let him come in and out of the house and still let him kind of do whatever he wanted to do, that don't make sense to me. I did not get a chance to watch, but I'm here. Oh, I appreciate you. Hell, my mom and dad said there's no locking of the doors. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just like, I remember that. And they be like, oh, well, my parents let us lock our door. This is our safe space. Oh, not in my house. Not in my house. Hey, Southern Belle. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Is that picture given? This is him reliving his moment when he was taking cars, child. And he was like in the moment, like, vroom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like, I was hitting it. I was taking these cars. And, 15 years old and had a pocket full of money. He was smiling like it was cute. I wasn't allowed to have my door locked, but some people were. But the fact that he had already messed up and even taken from his own father, all of those privileges would have been removed, even if you did allow him to have privacy. I feel like all of those privileges would have been removed. But with that being said, he finally gets caught. Finally gets caught. And I guess to the point where they say, you're going to stay in jail because I don't trust you getting out and you still not going to be hooked on them substances. So at a certain point after that, they allowed him go to this place called PAR, which is like a youth rehab center. So he still didn't even really go to juvie even then. I locked my door until I was 15. My mom took the whole door. V baby, what the hell did you do? Where she took the whole door off. That's where ain't no privacy, no boy. You can't close your door for nothing. I had that done too several times, child. But yeah, so they let him go to this place called PAR. And this is when I said, this is exactly what I was talking about. His counselor, Miss Jessie at PAR. If you saw his face when he saw just Miss Jessie on the phone, he lit up like he was seeing his mother, and he hadn't seen his mother in a very long time. He said Miss Jessie, he never felt really heard until he started speaking to Miss Jessie, and she was really there for him, and she was a nurturer compared to his mother. And I said, here we go. Here we go. His mother was not there for him, and it doesn't seem like his father was really there for him emotionally and as an emotional support. He may have been there as a provider. And I say this all the time. Parents have to understand, you just being there as a provider, being a provider, of course, is great, but you got to be an emotional support there too. And a lot of times, unfortunately, men don't really sometimes know how to be the nurturer. They just know how to be the provider. And if he didn't have that in his mother, I could see why he felt the way that he felt. And he was saying, he really appreciated her, and how he even cried because the moment when he officially was about to get sentenced to go to prison, she actually called up and was there to support him, and how she was crying because she didn't want to see him go down that path, because I guess she knew kind of his backstory. And she said while she was crying, he was there comforting her. But he said it meant so much for him to see her. He said that if any face, because he didn't realize who was calling him until he saw her pop up on the screen. He said he was so happy. If anybody he wanted to see at that moment, it was her. So that tells you right there. Anybody he wanted to see, it was her, not his mama, not his daddy. That tells you a lot of what was going on with him. He was doing all of that to get attention, in my opinion. He wanted attention. And the more that his father kind of ignored him, even though he was hurt, and he just kind of let him continue to do him, he ended up getting worse and worse, hoping to get attention. That's my opinion on the situation. Hey, Yuli. Let me see. Parents throw their own daughters out of the house when they accidentally get pregnant. Meanwhile, this man gets to stay in the house after Snoop. Exactly. Exactly. I'm 4'11". I used to fight for fun in middle school. My mama had enough of my BS. I am not shocked by that, sis. I am not shocked by that. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I never understood that either. What's up, Yuli? I couldn't see kicking my kids out there from the burbs, right? And my thing is, even if he didn't want to kick him out on the streets because he probably felt like he was gonna get worse, there's options, I would think. Shoot, military school is always an option. Me either. I think it's a double standard thing. I used to get bullied. Okay, gotcha. I understand the whole bullying thing, child. I get it. Sometimes you got to shut it down and go that route to sit up there and shut people up. So I totally get it. I totally get it. But yeah, at this moment, it kind of pulled at my heartstrings because I said, this is just a boy who really wanted love. He really wanted attention. He had everything financially, but he didn't have everything emotionally. And that's why he did what he did. I truly felt like he went that route because he saw that his mother supported it with her man. So he felt like he was probably going to get attention from his mother doing the same thing. So with that, that's when he, of course, goes into prison. And then, of course, that's where he's met with love after lockup or whatever. But interesting enough, though, I will say this. At the end, he seems to be really doing well. He ends up on his father's birthday, ends up replacing the laptop. He bought him a whole new laptop. And I thought that was really, really sweet. He was crying, but then at the same time laughing because his father was like, oh, the laptop or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I thought it was a sweet moment, and I'm actually rooting for Garrett. You know, the fact that he started so young, those on those substances, sometimes like you're altering your brain really, really young. So I'm hoping he can stay off of it. I really, really do. And he seems to be doing good. I think they said he's a restaurant server in Tampa or whatever the case may be. So he seems to be doing really well for himself. So I'm wishing him the best of luck. Yeah, yeah, he definitely deserves a second chance, or hell, what chance is this? 4,080? I don't know, but he deserves another chance. So hopefully he's on a straight and narrow this time. I couldn't watch these. Hey, fabulous me. I didn't think that the crew would want me to review it, but clearly the votes have spoken. So I'm going to review it. Short women, I personally know, can get down when it comes to fighting. They can. They can get down when it comes to fighting because they also know how to move quickly too and go for the knees. You know what I'm saying? Go for the knees. Let me see. Careful that he might steal that laptop too when you ain't looking. Just kidding. Yeah. Hopefully he's at. Well, they probably don't live in the same house anymore. I'm gonna take an educated guess on that. He probably has, but I'm hoping that he definitely also has been able to speak to his parents about how he felt. And hopefully he's also doing his own counseling and therapy, but also doing family therapy. Notice he didn't mention a mom anymore, though, either. So something tells me the mom isn't really still in his life. At this point, the dad is, but hopefully he has been able to really speak to his dad about his feelings growing up, and they're really able to, get back into a healthy relationship. I never get bullied after the first fight. People start stepping to me after that. It became a sport. You so bad. I will be here for your review. Oh, you know what? I really appreciate y'all who be like, look, I don't even watch this show, but I'm going to be here for your review, Chris. I appreciate y'all so much because really you don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? This is, you don't have to be, but the fact that you're still here to support, y'all know I got love for y'all. I appreciate y'all. I teared up a little bit. I can't even lie. Yeah, it was a sweet moment. It was a sweet moment. Yes, I appreciate you. I really do. Because you said you didn't even watch this episode, but you're here. I really appreciate it. Now, Lindsay, who was sleeping with a married man. Let's talk about her, y'all. Hey, Shayla. I'm late. I didn't get my note. Oh, really? You didn't get your notification? Oh Lord. Try to see if maybe you can turn it on and off. Sometimes I be hearing that sometimes. Child, that one had me wonder. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about her. This show is a little great filler until it comes back on in March. Yeah, I'll do it. If you guys want me to do it, the majority spoke, I'll do it amongst the real Ready to Love one that I'm doing. So yeah, I'll do it. No problem. Hey Daisy, what's up? Future welder. You know what I'm saying? Future welder. I don't know half the folks Chris be talking about, just here for the commentary. And I appreciate you. Y'all really don't understand. I appreciate y'all. I really do. So yeah, let's get on to Lindsay. Now, y'all let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been watching Lindsay since her first time being on Love during Love After Lockup. Put a 1 in the chat if you have. Put in 2 in the chat if you have not. I haven't seen Lindsay from her first time on Love After Lockup. So put a 1 in the chat if you know her story and was watching her since the beginning. And then put a 2 if you haven't, because I need to know this, because I'm going to ask a couple of questions. And if those who haven't seen her from the beginning, hopefully those who do the replay, they definitely will let me know, because I got some questions on this one, child. I just watched the first episode of Ready to Love. I never watched the series. Me either. Me either, Miss. Definitely catch the replay, gang. Me either, honey. Me either. Wasn't she the one with the Scott man? I haven't watched her from the beginning. I know she was with Deontay. I think his name is Deontay. But child, and then Scott is the one who was up there talking about he was depressed and he need to have his herbs, and how she was with another man. So, okay, so good. I still only get them if I click notify me on each video. That is interesting. But I've heard that before, even before I became a YouTuber, people was saying that their actual subscribers weren't getting notifications. That's so weird. Okay, so 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay, good. Because I got questions. Okay, 1, good. I got questions. I started watching while she was locked up and getting out. I'm forever calling her Lindsay. Yes, Lindsay. Lindsay, yes. So look, I don't know what about. Let's just get into it. Okay, good. Okay, so I got some day ones in here. Y'all know I'm not a day one when it comes to Love After Lockup. I came in late in the game. But Lindsay, child, from Tupelo, I don't know how to say that, Mississippi, okay? She's the one who spent 6 years in prison. She says she was her average country girl, very small town, only 30 people graduated from her class. And I said, dang, that is small. 30 people graduating from your high school, that is a small class. How many people graduated from a small school like that? I wish. I think I had like almost 1,000 people in my senior class graduating. I ain't never been to a small school like that. But ooh, that means everybody was up in everybody's business and everybody's was switching boyfriend and girlfriends probably. But anywho, she said she loved basketball, of course, but then she got pregnant around 15 or 16, had her daughter at 16 years old. And at the time, she really stayed on the straight and narrow. She was working 3 jobs and going to school. And typical nonsense, she ends up with a no good guy, okay, who introduced her to substances, better known as I call it sugar for the boogers or Coca-Cola, okay? And pretty much told her that if she's that tired with school and if she's that tired with you went to Cass, Miss, you went to Cass. Oh, I gotta read back. I'm sorry. Let me go with the flow. But yeah, this guy told her that she was dealing with, if you that tired, try some of this. And he gave her a free bag. And she tried it, loved it, and it went downhill. And I'm like, little did she know that was not her man. That was her future guy. He wanted her to get addicted, in my opinion, so she could start being a freaking client of his. Okay. So yeah, let me see. 30 people. She must have went to the school from Little House on the Prairie or something. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I was like, that's a small class. Tupelo. Okay, Tupelo, Mississippi. I think of Elvis Presley when I hear that town. Why? Did he do a song about Tupelo? And thank you for letting me know how to pronounce it, because I said, what the hell is this? My senior class, yeah, I had a huge class, 30 people. Yes, I actually know a lot of people who went to Cass. It was either Cass or the Performing Arts School in Detroit. To me, those are the top schools that a lot of people that I know went to in Detroit. Or was there another school? I feel like I heard King somewhere, maybe. King? I feel like I heard King before. I've met a lot of people throughout my lifetime who are from Detroit because they scattered all over the place. A lot of people didn't just stay in Detroit. But let me see. My daughter graduated from a small school. It was because you had to really be smart to go there. Yeah. Now, my senior class wasn't 3,000. My senior class that I graduated with was like 1,000. The whole school was easily 4,000 and over. Yes, she was with Scott. Yes, she took me out when she was collecting her money from people who owe her. Yeah, like she was, child. Let's get into it. So let me see. Yes, King. Okay, yeah. I think I was like, King is a school too. You love Detroit? Yes. Wait, I'll pass on the two poo poo. I cannot. So check this out. So at that point, now mind you, she was on a straight and narrow until she met this guy B. Okay. And she was actually using her college education to pretty much sell the substances. And she even admitted that she used her pretty privilege to get ahead in the game. Okay. And she said during the height of her business, she lived in a nice house and she had 24-hour nannies to take care of her daughter because she was too busy effing up and selling, and also because she was, of course, on that stuff as well. Now, she told her daughter in 1 year she made $300,000. Now, maybe where I'm from, because y'all know there are just certain cities and places that are known for major kingpins and queen pins. But $300,000 don't seem like a lot of money to do and go that route, especially for what they were selling, because they claimed the little small country rinky-dink towns, as they call them. Those be the main places where they can make their money, because they just say it's a lot of people are, on it and they don't have nothing else to do. So when she said that, I said, that's queen pin status. I said, maybe in Tupelo, honey, but that ain't nothing compared to other people. There's other people who talking about they do that in a week. So I was just like, okay, but at that point, and she even said she sold to doctors. I said, child, I ain't even shocked. I'm not even shocked. So, but she was using and she was selling. And she said she never slowed down because she never ran out of either money or substances. And one thing I've noticed about all crime stories, whether it is Love After Lockup or even like, your documentaries on like the biggest, top dogs of the game, they always say their downfall is at a point where they started to just become completely reckless and they were just always fast speed, because it's almost like they felt like something was coming and they was trying to chase, trying to get everything they could before I guess something happens. But you always hear those stories that they was just always on the go, never had a chance to have a break, and the next thing you know, everything comes crashing down. All right. So she actually said that at that point she never slowed down. And so this dumb, that, did y'all see that freaking trailer? That was nasty as hell. She said that she thought if Walter White from Breaking Bad could do what he did, which was cook, she could do the same. Ma'am, Walter White, the character, was a chemist. And he also wasn't on that ooh-wee. You giving me more Jesse vibes, okay? I don't know why you could compare yourself to Walter White, but he kept his nose clean. And he also had a background in education in chemistry, all right? But at that point, this heifer doing her thing in that freaking nasty trailer, and she sits up there and cooks in an easy bake oven, honey. And I'm going to just call it an easy bake oven because this child says she got a child's chemistry kit off of the internet. I said, so you pretty much got an easy bake oven? That's what you did. Okay, so she got her little easy bake oven to cook that ooh-wee and literally burnt down the freaking trailer. And then says that after, when she was in her confessional, she says, that could have ended badly for me. I mean, I could have been unalived. I could have been deformed. And I'm like, how about you could have taken out others? Why you so worried about just yourself? You don't think fires can spread, ma'am? Just one little, and literally, you could literally, acres can be gone. Trust me, as you know, California knows that all too well. So the fact that she only concerned about herself and said it just went up and she just drove off worried about herself, she's lucky and didn't spread. Seriously. And other people would have been unalived. Let me see what you guys are saying. It's pretty much of the breakdown in this picture. It's like, find Waldo. For real. For real. Find the pipe. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jupiter. Jesse from Saved by the Bell. No, Jesse from Breaking Bad, baby. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad? That's what she said, Walter White. Walter White is a character from Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was an excellent show. I highly recommend it. I still think it's on Netflix, so y'all should check it out. Elvis was born, in 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi. I am 71, and my graduating class in 1971 has said, wow. Well, first of all, Catherine, welcome. The fact that you want to listen to old me and you are 71 years old, I appreciate you so much. Love it, love it, love it. And the fact that in 1971, y'all had 737 students, was that just Tupelo alone? Are you from Mississippi? Where are you from in Mississippi? Because I'm like, did like a couple of different counties maybe have everybody go to one school? Let me know. But I appreciate you for listening to me. What in the eight? Thank you. That's exactly what that looked like. One of the key rules to deal is never get right. Right. And she was already on it before she started selling based on what she's saying. Alexa, play Biggie, the 10 Commandments. Exactly. Her was mad for walking right down to the country jail. Was half the town her clients? Probably the whole town was her client. There's several different counties too. A TV show, yes. She said she thought, honey, she was Walter White. See, this is the problem with people watching TV shows and trying to make it real life. It's a TV show. But again, she's probably watching it while she was on that ooh-wee. And then, when they own that ooh-wee, they think they can do it all. Yes, welcome, Miss Catherine. Oh, I thought about Jesse when she was so excited. If you watch Walter White, Jesse was not only Walter White's former student, but his partner in crime. And yeah, Jesse was a complete F up. If you watch that show, you'll know exactly what I mean on when I say she is nowhere near Walter White. She is a Jesse. So with that being said, honey, this is another thing. She said she was taking her dad and stepmom out for her dad's birthday and got pulled over. And apparently she said the cops did an illegal search in her car and they found substances. And I said, well, that just shows you how people who are addicted, junkies, only care about themselves, because why in the heck would you have that in the car when your father and stepmom are in the car? But then also that should have been the first clue for her, that the police already knew who she was. Because why would they randomly select you and pull you over and start to search your car unless somebody possibly tipped them off on who you were or whatever the case may be. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. Her first season, did she ever mention that one of these boyfriends set her up? Y'all let me know, this B guy that she's talking about, because something is giving me the vibe that one of them set her up. Somebody set her up. Somebody dropped the dime on that girl. And to me, that should have been the first sign that she needed to stop or tighten up. But again, she was on her own supply. So she ain't even thinking. She still got that trap house mentally. That's why that trailer looks like that. Ain't even cleaned up. I said, why would y'all even, and how did she even find this? Did she just automatically know and told production that's a trap trailer and let's go in really quick? I'm like, whose trailer is this? And why can you just go in? Tom Arnold's sister Lori is the female watcher of the Midwest. Her documentary was good. And Tom Arnold from Roseanne Barr's ex-husband, Tom Arnold, Jupiter. Let me know, and let me know where I can find that documentary. Yes, it is a trap trailer. Somebody kept church gear in the trap just in case. Okay, I'm gonna have to find that. Only in the South, the trap trailer is a real thing. Child. But the thing is, they're usually like that trailer could have easily take the grass could have actually caught on fire. It could have been and traveled. She could have did a lot of damage. And she up there worried about herself and being deformed. She better thank her lucky stars that she didn't take anybody else out. Okay, thank you, Jupiter. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have to check it out. So yeah, so I was just like, child, but here's the thing. She said after that first caught up with the police, she said it went downhill from there. Okay. And so she said that she was constantly getting in trouble. And again, I just feel like, and y'all let me know from previous seasons, did she ever say or felt like somebody set her up? I personally think the guys, because it's very clear she did not have the best choice in men. Something tells me those men was setting her up because they figured she can go to jail or she can get away with it because she had pretty privilege while they sat in the back. I don't know. That's just the vibes I'm getting. That is my opinion, though. Right, exactly. The trailer knows no about right. Trailer looks more like exactly. Um, yeah, I want to check out that documentary too. Who will want to rebuild that? Right. Yes, please like the video. Please like the video. I think she said it seems like it. It seems like it. It really, really does. It does seem like it. I don't know if she ever doesn't want to admit it because she's still living there where probably all of them still are. Does anybody know that guy B if he ended up going to prison? Like, I need answers. I really do. Um, no, Metro Detroit. I had cousins in NY who loved Elvis, but we moved to Metro. Okay, we got another Detroiter in the house. Ms. Got another Detroiter in the house. She said, honey, I'm from Metro Detroit. I ain't from the suburbs. I'm from Metro. So you from the city of Detroit? 6 mile, 7th mile, 8 mile? You let me know. You let me know. Y'all remember what doesn't belong in this picture? The clothes hanging is so random. Oh, but yeah, so with that, next thing you know, she ends up going on an OJ moment, high speed OJ moment in January of 2016. She had only been literally doing substance for longer, but only selling for a year, she said. And so at that point, she said she was driving, and then all of a sudden, the police started to follow her. And I'm thinking, because somebody told you was on your way. Like, I just feel, girl. But again, her mind was cloudy at that moment. And she said they just randomly started following her. Now, let the police officers say it. She was going 20 miles or so over the speed limit. So that's why they followed her. I mean, it's possible, but something tells me they kind of already knew what to be looking for. But instead of her stopping, she starts to speed even more, and apparently started going over 100 miles per hour. And she said that there was a safe rule that a lawyer told her that as long as she had everything in the safe and it was locked, she was good. But she felt like that wouldn't work this time. And I'm like, why wouldn't it work this time? Because you either knew somebody was snitching on you and they had enough on you, or maybe you forgot to lock everything up in there. But whatever the case may be, while she's driving at high speed, she throws out the safe. But in the process of trying to turn the corner, she ends up crashing and the police get her. All right. And so at that point, she ends up getting arrested. And so when she ends up getting arrested, this is when you know she got privilege, okay? She ends up getting in the car. They handcuff her. She removes her hands. She removes her hands from the handcuffs. Sees that there's water in the back. Takes one of the waters out, and literally washes her face. And the police officer's like, "What the heck are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm dirty. I have to wash my face. I want to look good in my freaking mugshot picture." Girl, what? People have gotten pow-powed for less. Who is bold enough to take their hands out? First of all, the mere fact that you easily was able to take your hands out of handcuffs. Every time I watch those freaking videos, they be claiming them suckers be putting it on so tight you can't even move. So that tells me they already was being lenient on you, because the fact that you was able to take your hands out of the handcuffs and then decide to wash your face because you trying to sit up there and take a nice mugshot picture. Girl, bye. I couldn't believe it. Hey, Kashari. Hey, 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 hey. We can't actually say, yeah, we can't. We cannot. We can't even say the M word either, unfortunately. Moved to Detroit in 1964. My dad got my sister and I tickets to see the Beatles. Ooh, big Beatle fans here, not from Mississippi. Ooh, you was also there in the height of Motown, Miss Catherine. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Yes, you was at the time when it was great times in Detroit. That was the time that everybody was there working in the auto industry and all of that stuff. So yeah. But she ends up going to prison. She's released in April of 2020 during the height of the you know what. She gets out, but then she gets arrested again for using in June of 2020. And then got back out in 2022. And so this is what I'm assuming what she got rearrested for in June of 2020. I think those are her state charges. She talked about that the last time she was on the show, that she can face up to 40 years. Now, I believe that's the same attorney that she had in the season that we reviewed. I guess the lawyer cut his hair. He got a little bob now. Remember, he had that ponytail, and I said a attorney with a dang on ponytail. Okay. So at this point, she says she's working. She's in college. She has a house. She has a mortgage. And so she is hoping that everything she's doing is not going to be ruined, because she can possibly get a max of 40 years. Honey, yes, he did have a bob. Check it out. He had a bob. I wish I would have taken a screenshot. He had a bob, okay? Bob with some nice highlights. So, yeah, she says that she doesn't want everything to be destroyed, but here's my thing. I don't know how she's going to be able to get out of not doing any time if you have a max of 40 years possibly that you could possibly serve. Is it even possible that she can have a max of 40 years and absolutely do no time? I guess maybe with privilege she could, but I'm just like, and now that makes me wonder, you guys, because I'm sorry, Lindsay kind of gives me manipulator. And again, I've only seen her, I haven't seen her from the beginning. Y'all let me know if you feel like she's a manipulator. Do you feel like she only did this show thinking that's going to save or help her case? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've just felt like none of this was really, in my opinion, genuine. She even had a conversation with one of the officers, like, I don't even remember you, but I wasn't remorseful at the time. And she had to make sure that she said that she feels like, she, knows that she hurt people, and she didn't want to admit that. I don't know. I just feel like this was a way for her to use to this was something for her to help her case, or she thinks is going to help her case. Yeah, I don't know the privilege of it all. Lindsay been a black woman, they probably would have mistaken her water bottle for something. Exactly. That's what I said. Like, people have gotten pow for much less. And you mean to tell me you did that and then straight up said that you want to wash your face and you can look pretty for your mug shot picture? Child. So what I was getting vibes of was absolutely right then. Cause I was too busy laughing at her man talking about I'm depressed and you was with a married man and all of this type of stuff. I was laughing at that. I don't know if I was really focused on Lindsay that much in her last season, but she is giving me manipulator vibes. But truthfully, a lot of times ex um ex junkies, they still kind of have that master manipulator mindset. They have to work their way out of it, but they still try to find ways to play victim and try to find ways to make things work in their favor. PR stunt, she's a manipulator. Okay, she is, but seems like she's trying to change. Maybe she is. Maybe she is, but I just have never heard of someone possibly spending a max of 40 years in prison, not getting any time at all. And she sounds like she is trying to not get any time. She sounds like she's trying to completely get these charges either erased or just have probation. I just don't know that many people when you hear that type of time not have any jail time. Now, I guess maybe the 2 years that she was in there, they're going to try to use that as time served. But 40 years and in Mississippi, I don't know, y'all. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. I still wouldn't trust her. I wouldn't either. They keep them ways to manipulate. They do. I'm shocked she's not back in jail, which is what happened after the season she dated Scott. Yeah, something ain't, I don't know, y'all. I feel like she was like, let's try to do this to let them see that I've changed. And let me bring my daughter in this. Her daughter was more so in this crime story than she was in the last season. They made sure to show she was having all the conversations with her daughter going to, you know what I'm saying, the former house. They wanted to show her daughter a lot, I think, to gain sympathy, if you ask me. Yeah, she used Scott. Scott was so depressed, he said he needed the herbs, honey. He needed the herbs. But yeah, I don't know. When I looked at Garrett's story, I said, I'm rooting for him. I'm happy for him. And I hope he makes it. Kind of looking at Lindsay's story, I was just like, child, okay. I mean, I hope you trying to change. But again, even when she was in prison, they said she was trying to be rough and tough. And she said she has a hard time being good. She said she was always getting in trouble in prison. Now, I don't know if that was the second time around, but the first time around she just kind of gives me that she still has a vibe of she's still going to do what the hell she wants to do. Now, I am hoping that I am wrong in that, but I just felt like there was something really not genuine in her story. It just felt like, and not that the story was a lie, but that her reasoning for doing this, there was a motive behind it. Not because it was just more so like this. Hey, the attorney probably said, look, you need to show that you're doing good. Okay, well, let me do a story just with me, not with Scott, not with him screaming at me and us, sitting up there going back and forth and him throwing bacon grease all over the wall and me telling him to get the F out. I need to do a story where there is no drama, strictly about me and my child and how I've changed to kind of maybe influence the judge or something like that. That's the vibes it was giving me. But I hope I'm wrong, because everybody deserves a second chance, or chance 1 million. I don't know. A year for every family then she'd be in there for life. She would be in there for life. Child. Not for every year she ruined for life. That's a shame she used her daughter as a prop. Look, I'm just saying that's my opinion. I just feel like, and again, I don't necessarily think the last season made her look good when she was going back and forth with him and how he was in, her house, on the medicated herb, but still medicated herb, and how he wasn't allowed to because of her, probation and her current charges and the arguing. I don't think that made her look better. It kind of looked like she had a chaotic household for her child. So I think she used this moment to clean up. You know what I mean? To try to clean up, to kind of help her. and it's still pending. And maybe it's still pending because the courts are busy in Mississippi, or maybe it's still pending because she tries to find any chance she can get to film and be on, Love After Lockups or Life After Lockups. This probably won't be her last season. She'll probably be on another one. She making her money any way she can and trying to make sure that she looks good for the courts. I just don't know. And again, I guess a miracle or privilege can happen if you're trying to do a max of 40 years, or a max of 40 years is possible, and the only years that you probably served for your charge is maybe those 2 years from 2020 to 2022. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard someone doing or possibly having a max of 40 years and then only saying time is served for those 2 years. That just don't add up to me. But hey, stranger things have happened, right? Let me get off her IG liking stuff by accident, trying to be nosy. Swear I'm a detective. Me baby. Now she thinks she's gonna have a fan. She thinks, child, she already thinks she got a fan. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about it though, Lindsay is a pretty girl. You know what I'm saying? She is a pretty girl. So, and she knows that too. You know what I'm saying? She knows that she's pretty. And women who know that they pretty, they know they can take advantage of pretty privilege. That's just what it is. So, I don't know. I did not feel the moment of, oh, I'm rooting for her after her story was done. Which is crazy because I do want her to be genuine about it, because I would want her to be there for her daughter. She hasn't really been there for her daughter that much. But yeah, I don't know. Something just didn't feel genuine, but we'll see. I mean, how much longer can they stretch out this case? We'll see what happens, honey. But for the sake of her daughter, I'm hoping she's on a straight and narrow. And if she is on a straight and narrow, maybe she won't have to serve any more time. Maybe those 2 years would just do it for her. And, the judge would be light on her, seeing that she has a mortgage and now she has stability with her child. Who knows? But with that being said, you guys, all right, so this is just the first episode. Next episode, we got y'all look at the next episode and see who we got, baby. His life is more interesting right now with all of the drama that I be seeing on my algorithm. He got more drama with that and what he likes and what his preference is, so to speak, more than what he's probably gonna talk about on this show. Next episode, I think he is next episode, but we shall see. Let me see. She's in a war of words online with Deontay's baby mama. Why? Why? Does she not realize that the judge and the courts can look at all of this stuff? Do people not realize that social media can really screw their lives up? Like, just move a certain way on social media. What is the point? Her hair is beautiful. I'll give her that. She should try and get some shampoo ads for her for she does that 40, but I got a feeling she's not going to do 40 years. Yeah, I have a feeling too. I mean, her hair, she's a pretty girl. Even just not even her hair, she is a pretty girl. And for her to have been a M addict, that's big, because I have definitely heard the horror stories that just even a year or two on that stuff, your teeth start falling out, you age like 20 years. For her to still look the way she looks now, mind you, we ain't really seen her without makeup, but a lot of times, even people who've been on that stuff for so long, even makeup can't even save them. You can tell even under the makeup that they've aged. She still looks good. So, maybe she just got the genes for it, honey. Maybe she has the genes for it. But yeah, so definitely, you guys, I appreciate you guys for listening. I will continue to do the reviews since you guys say yes, do the reviews on this. But yeah, I would like to know what you guys think. Let's continue the conversation. Who y'all got tonight for the Super Bowl? Nobody. Nobody. I would say if I got anybody, it would be Kendrick. I really hope he does They Not Like Us. I know they keep saying that he ain't gonna do it because Drake like to give lawsuits left and right, apparently. But I'm sorry, that would be a beautiful thing to just hear a whole freaking stadium and probably everybody watching at that point, A minor. Boom, 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 boom. They not like us. I'm just saying that would be a beautiful moment. But apparently they're saying they may not have him do that because of possibly having some legal issues. I don't know. But that would be a beautiful thing. But yeah, I don't care. I mean, as far as I see it, hopefully whoever, I think, what is it? Philly? I don't even know. Yeah, Philly and Kansas City, right? The Eagles and the Chiefs, right? That's who's playing, chat. I don't even know. I think I do know, actually, because Taylor Swift, I think that said something about her wearing red at the Grammys for the Chiefs or the Republicans or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. Maybe she'll do a Tom Brady like Tom Brady's wife did allegedly. I don't know. But we'll see. Kendrick gonna do that song. They might cut his mic, but we ain't gonna sing. We gonna sing it for him. I'm telling you, that was the hit of the year. If they play it on the radio, why wouldn't they be able to perform it? That's my Law and Order degree. Well, I mean, Drake was still trying to sue the record labels about it, so who knows? Who knows? But we shall see. Right. And like seriously, and that's why I've never really been able to get back into watching, but I never was someone who watched the Super Bowl from beginning to end. I always wanted to just see the halftime performances. But I think after that situation, it just really turned me off. So that's why I'm like, I don't really care either way. I know, I know. I got some wings too. I just got the wings to eat. So, with that being said, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.